Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rise and Grind Sports, episode 2, second week. We're back. We're going to touch on, we're definitely going to talk about the U.S. Open. We're going to touch on the NBA Finals, um, go over what happened in the College World Series this weekend, and talk about College World Series plays today. And if there's any NBA Finals plays today, we'll also talk about that. First thing on the docket, Bryson DeChambeau's back. He's been playing really solid golf this year. I believe he was. I believe he's been top 10 in the last two majors, if I'm not mistaken.
He was second in the PGA Championship.
Yeah, he finished runner-up in PGA. I'm pretty sure he played really well at the Masters as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll check on that. But
and for a guy who has been given a lot of shit for being the analytical guy and the big bomber and no course really fits him and all this shit that everybody used to say. He's played every single major really well, really well. For him to go out and win this one, I think is actually more impressive than if he were to have won at Augusta because I mean Pinehurst this week was playing unbelievably tough. I mean the greens are like upside down fish bowls, and this guy is scrambling like a menace. I mean yesterday I think he hit. They said he hit like
he
four
had
or five of 14
five, five,
fairways.
five fairways.
That's unbelievable. Hit five fairways and scrambled his ass off for 18 holes and
It was
still ended up winning it.
it was
Like,
honestly one of the most impressive rounds I've seen. Like I've
yeah,
sat
just
down and
like
watched.
constant pressure, just constant scrambling. I mean, guy's in wiregrass on the right, then he yanks it to the I mean, that shot on 18 that he had like over in the grandstands where he essentially had to hit it off of a root almost. Like,
Yeah,
and then he puts it in the bunker, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, he's going to give it back. And then he sticks it within like 5 feet.
yeah.
That was probably the best golf shot I've seen in probably since Scotty holed out of the Masters last year from
Yeah.
off the green. Or was it last year? 2 years ago.
Last year.
When's the one where he beat Cam Smith? Was that 2 years ago? That was his first one, right? Yeah. Yeah. So like 2 years ago. Because then Rahm won and then he won again this year.
Yes.
So yeah. I think that's probably the most impressive golf shot I've seen in like 2.5, 3 years. Was his bunker shot on 18. Um
He finished tied sixth at the Masters.
yeah, so he's been playing fantastic. Now he's got the monkey off his back. Is he gonna go out there and win the E Open at Royal Troon? I don't know.
He'll be up there.
Um he's all the way back. I'm all the way back in on him. I was off of him for quite some time just because I think the whole him and Brooks thing kind of got me off him a little bit because I was a big Brooks guy. I like Brooks, but I think as the years have gone on, I can realize that you can like both of them. And honestly, both of them went over to live. They're doing their own thing. You know, that they don't really have as much of a rivalry going on anymore. So I'm back. I'm back on Bryson. I like Bryson. Plus, honestly, I watch a lot of his YouTube videos, so that kind of helps because I always thought he was just kind of like a douche. And his YouTube videos, he seems like a pretty nice, straightforward, genuine guy. So I like it. He seems like he's getting along with everybody. He's becoming one with the fans. Um,
Makes it fun to watch.
yeah, he's just he. It would be different if he like wasn't kind of being like really cool with the fans. Like if he was just being like a stubborn, hard-nosed, like analytic. Oh, I'm just gonna go out there and play my own game. Blah blah blah. Like then it would be way way different. But um, I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and say this as nicely as I possibly can. Um, the Rory and Tiger comparisons need to fucking stop. They do. They're done. There's no more. Oh, he's the no, he's not. He's not the next Tiger. If he was the next Tiger, Rory would have buried all of the putts down the stretch, and he would have blown Bryson out of the water.
But he didn't.
I mean, he missed a 2.5 foot putt. I'm not. I get it. Like this, there's a major on the line. There's a 2.5 foot putt from a guy that we're blowing like he's Tiger Woods in his prime, saying that he's like the best, one of the best golfers in the world. If you're one of the best golfers in the world, you make a 2.5 foot putt when it's there, when a major's on the line. Period. Scotty can't putt for shit, and he'd still make that putt. Morikawa, same thing. And we'll touch on him in a little bit. But Roy's a choke artist. Can't I can't stand it. It drives me nuts watching him play golf because, like yesterday, when I woke up, I looked at the live odds and saw Rory at a certain number, and I was like, and I was honestly thinking about taking it, and then I was like, he's gonna choke. I can't. I don't even want to waste. I don't even want to waste whatever I was gonna throw on it. $10, $20. I was like, I'm not throwing it on there. Why would I do it? What's the point? Then of course he makes me sweat the entire time, but he still chokes. He does all that work to get up there and then he chokes. It makes no sense to me. I'm done. I'm done with the Rory Tiger argument. There is no argument. Tiger was way better than Rory. Will always be way better than anybody who's on tour. I'm done with the Tiger comparisons. And everybody who hates the fact that Tiger gets a bunch of TV time when he plays, you can kiss my ass too. Because that guy, the fact that he's even walking is a blessing.
Who wouldn't want to watch that man play?
Well, there's a lot of haters out there that do not like him.
Fuck him.
But it's like the fact that he's even walking and still breathing is a miracle in itself, and you should appreciate greatness while you still have it, because there's a lot of people out there that are not around anymore. Um,
Yes.
I think heading forward, I think Morikawa is going to win the Open. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I'm pretty sure Morikawa's been also top 10 in every major.
I know he was a PGA champ.
He was top, I believe, 5 at PGA.
He wasn't this week.
I think he was top 5 at the Masters. He fell off a little bit
He finished.
yesterday.
He finished tied 14 today.
T14. Okay. Yeah. So not the greatest, but he fell
Yeah,
off a little bit yesterday. He was up there, but he kind of went backwards. I think Morikawa is going to win the Open. I really do. Um, he's been playing really well and consistent uh, in these majors. He's putting a lot better. I think he's going to do it. I really do. I think that would be my pick heading into it, because I don't see anybody else going out there and setting the world on fire right now. DeChambeau's been playing well. I mean, he got the monkey off his back. I don't know if he wants to go back to back. Scotty did not look good
a lot of
at
people
all.
didn't though.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
what
the
did
most frustrated I've seen Scheffler ever.
yeah, DeChambeau finished the tournament at what, 6 under? So to
7.
to have it, to have it 6 or 7 under, be the final score. That shows you how tough it was. But
Only 8. Sorry, 6 under. He shot
it
1
was
under.
6 under. Okay, that's what I thought.
Eight
So
dudes finished under par in the tournament. 11 finished even or better.
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
The cut line was +5.
But good on Bryson to go out there and shoot, 6 under. I mean,
Yeah.
he played really well. He deserves it. He was a man on a mission, and congratulations to him. He played really well. Um,
Shout out Tony Finau.
I love Tony. I just don't know if he's ever gonna get it done. He's
I
one of those guys you might just have to just take top 10 in every major and just like let it go. You know,
yeah.
I just I love Tony, but God, sometimes he drives me nuts. I don't know.
It
And
was
I'm
good to
not
see.
I'm not a hater on like the whole family man thing, but him traveling with like his 20 kids every week has to like just mentally just wear him down
Yeah,
throughout. Like
it's not gonna get it done.
it's like you gotta if that guy were go on a winning streak, if he just left his family home, which is terrible to say. But
Because
I think
he won what, 2 in a row, not last year, but 2 years ago?
yeah, I think that was 2 years ago and everybody kinda went to live and everybody was like, oh well no wonder why Tony's winning. I just I don't know. Tony, I love Tony. I love Tony so much. I'll always love Tony, but God, I hope he wins one. I hope he wins the Masters, to be honest, just because of like the fact that he snapped his ankle on that par three contest that one time. Like, I hope he wins the Masters. I really do.
Get his lick back.
Yeah, he needs it. He needs it bad. Um, we'll touch on, I guess, what's going to be happening tonight with the NBA Finals. It's Game Five, which unfortunately my Celtics let them get one. I think it ends tonight. I think they're back in Boston. I think it ends tonight. I think we close it out at TD Garden and we get it done. I I I would be shocked if they didn't do it tonight. Now, my issue with this is as a Celtics fan, if we don't close out tonight, I think the Mavs might like push it to 7 and then that gets really scary and uncomfortable because you do have two very good players on the other side of the ball with Luca and Kyrie. And the way they played the other night, the way everybody on Dallas played the other night, if they play two more games like that, I would not be surprised if it goes 7. I mean, we got Derek Lively out here hitting threes. What are we doing? I don't know. I feel like Boston, they played hard. I won't say that they gave up. They played hard, but at the same time, like you kind of felt that they didn't really feel like they needed to win that one. Or maybe that they wanted to give him one back so that they could go back home. Like you kind of got that vibe a little bit. So my only
For them to win 3 games the way they did, playing very good basketball, and then to go out there and lose game 4 by, what was it, like 30 points?
Mhm.
It almost feels like it was planned.
Well,
Not
again,
necessarily planned, but
we touched on it last week. It was like, look, if the NBA's rigged, you could say that all of a sudden Dallas is going to rattle off a couple, and it's like, well, they rattle off one, beat the Celtics by like 30, and it's like, where'd that come from? I don't know. Is Scott Foster really the series extender? I mean, I don't, I don't know. That was trended on Twitter for a while. So I don't know, man. For them to play the way they did the other night and almost act like they didn't have to win that game, they better go and close it out tonight because if you let Dallas win another one in Boston, that's called a momentum shift, gentlemen. And they're going to go back home, play in front of their crowd in game 6 on Wednesday or whatever day it's going to be. And they're probably going to win that one. And then it's game 7 in the Garden, which would scare the shit out of me. I don't trust that at all. They need to do it tonight because I don't trust them to win on the road, and I don't trust them to win Game 7. They need to do it tonight. I am not gonna have a play on this game other than the fact that my heart and soul is in it for Boston. I scares the shit out of me if they lose the game tonight. it will scare the shit out of me. What do you think? As
I'm
an
there
impartial guy.
as an impartial guy who's not really a basketball guy. I'm there with you. I think if they win tonight, then who the hell knows what's going to happen?
I'm talking about Dallas.
Yeah, if Dallas
Yeah,
wins tonight,
yeah. If Dallas wins tonight, all essentially you could call Game 6 a Game 7 in a weird way
right?
because it's like you better close it out on the road then. Like you do not want to lose that game and have them coming back after winning 3 straight and going into your house. You do not want that to happen.
No, then you don't want to lose that game because it might be one of the biggest chokes of
Oh,
all
one of
time.
one of it will be the biggest choke of all time. No one's ever come back from 3-0. And for them to do it in the NBA finals on our home court, Jason Tatum will be crucified forever. And I also will want either him or Brown off the team. I don't know which one. Probably him.
Tatum.
I've been trying to trade Jaylen Brown hypothetically for the last 2 years because I knew that Jaylen Brown was going to come up and be like a better player than Tatum. And I was like, we need to get people who benefit from playing in a system with Jason Tatum because they're never going to get rid of Tatum. Now that like Brown has kind of emerged and like almost is the finals MVP right now, I might shop Tatum around, you know? Like I don't know what you're going to get back. I have no idea, but it would be a hefty package because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love Jason Tatum. Um, I saw something the other day. I'm not even really going to seriously bring it up, but I did see something where they were like, yeah, they'll just trade Tatum to the Lakers and get LeBron and, like 6 first rounders or something. That way they can get Bronny in the draft too. And I'm like, what? Why? Why? What are we doing that for? I don't know. I also kind of think that Bronny doesn't want to play with LeBron. I'm starting to get that vibe. I don't know.
He's
That'll be
not
an
NBA
interesting
ready.
storyline. No, he's definitely not. But I mean, somebody's going to pay the kids to try and get LeBron to come play for him.
Yeah,
But I think that he doesn't want to play with LeBron. So then all of a sudden he's just going to get drafted and just be there. Like, I get he had the cardiac arrest or the cardiac attack or whatever it was. I
something
don't, I
like
don't
that.
really remember. But for him to average like 4 points and 1 assist at USC, which is not really a basketball school, is bad. It's very bad. I think he should stay a year, a year or two longer in college. I think he just needs that development and just needs to get his feet under him. But I don't know. He gets drafted. I mean, you're throwing him to the wolves pretty quick, especially if he doesn't really want to play with his dad, and then all of a sudden he gets drafted and his dad doesn't come to that team. It's going to be interesting. Um, College World Series. Florida State's still alive. We love that. That game the other night between Florida State and Tennessee was absolutely bonkers.
Nice. Yeah,
I
game of the year.
I'm not gonna lie. I went to bed thinking I had Florida State plus 1400 ticket in the winners game, and when I woke up to see that Tennessee won that game, I wasn't upset because I also have Tennessee to win the thing, but I was a little upset. Um, I mean, Tennessee just we said it last week. We said it for forever. They're on a mission right now. That team is pissed off that they didn't get in here last year, that they got beat out by Notre Dame, and they're playing like it. I mean, they are unbelievable. Um, it also helps that they did what I wanted them to do last night, which is beat that fraud team out of North Carolina and get them in the losers bracket. Because now I got plus 1400. to win the whole thing going up against North Carolina in the losers game. And then hopefully we can get Florida State and Tennessee back, and that could be the final to see who goes um, to the College World Series. That would be pretty sweet.
That'd be
Um,
a hell of a game.
that would be great. And plus, I mean, Florida State would then have to beat them twice,
Yeah.
which they could. I mean, Florida State's good enough to do that, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. North Carolina's not beaten Tennessee twice. I'll go ahead and tell you
Yeah.
that now. Florida State might. North Carolina's not. Um, that being said, I don't think anybody's beaten Tennessee twice. So I think if Tennessee makes it to
Not
the
twice in a
College World
row.
Series final, yeah, like I think they're if they get there, I think they're gonna win it. By the way, it should be illegal for them to have played that game the other night with Florida and Texas A&M.
What time did it even start?
Dude, it ended at like 3:30 our time. Never
That's
again.
crazy.
I was sitting there for hours. I had to watch that entire rerun of that Tennessee Florida State game, which I finally got to actually see how they won, which was nice. And then I was still like, they still weren't on, and I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. They're not playing tonight.
They
And
should
then
have
I
played.
woke up. Go ahead.
They should have played at like 8 a.m. the next morning.
That's what I was thinking.
Give them some
Well,
rest.
I mean, 8 a.m. their time probably.
Yeah, 8 a.m. their time.
Then 11 our time, and then we should have been 11, 2, and 7, and that would have been fine. But I woke up in the middle of the night and checked my phone, and I was like, "Oh my god, Florida lost!" Like, I don't even know how they play that game. That should be illegal. Nobody watched that game.
No.
So, yeah, I think Tennessee's on a mission right now. A&M's in the driver's seat. We got a couple of those games going on today. Um, A&M's in the winners bracket. Who else won on that side? That was
Kentucky.
there it is. That side's the whole SEC side. There's 3 SEC teams
Yeah.
and then
NC
one
State.
ACC.
NC State's the other one.
NC State. So we got NC State and Florida as an elimination game today.
Correct. At
That'll
2
be that'll be a good one. What's uh what's the lines on those today?
Florida, NC State. Florida's the favorite at minus 142. NC State's plus 112. The spread is Florida minus 1.5 plus 112. NC State plus 1.5 minus 146. Over unders 10.5 at minus 114.
Since
And
I have Florida to win the whole thing, I'll probably have to do NC State plus 1.5 and money line. Probably
yeah.
to try and make a little bit back on them.
I think
Um,
does Caglione pitch today?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Caglione. He's not like
He's not a dominant pitcher. He
he
goes out there and
hasn't
does a
been
job, but
yeah, he hasn't been like that guy. You know what I mean? Like I mean, he's gone out there and he's thrown well, but I don't know. I think he's going to be I think he's going to be a hitter in the pros. I don't think he's
yeah.
going to be a pitcher. So, it's great that he's a two-way guy, but I think he's going to hit. He's like that kid from Louisville, like, God, how long ago was that? 8 years ago? Brendan McKay. You remember that kid?
Yes, Brendan McKay.
That kid was a stud in college, two-way guy, and then, like, he got drafted by the Rays. Has he even played?
I feel like I've seen his name pop up before, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's look.
I'm not too sure I've really even seen him. He may have made, like, a start or two, but
He pitched. He pitched 13 games,
there you go.
49 innings.
And that was it.
That's it.
Yeah. See, I think he was the opposite. He was more touted as a pitcher than a hitter. I think Caglione is more of a hitter than a pitcher. So
I'm
we'll
there with
see how
you.
they fare tonight. I mean, he's a stud. NC State's a good squad, and then we got A&M playing Kentucky. That's probably going to be a bloodbath. Um,
A&M's the
we'll see.
favorite. at minus 136. Kentucky's plus 106, and then plus 1.5. A&M's plus 122, or sorry, minus one and a
Minus
half
1.5.
is plus 122 for A&M, and then plus 1.5 is minus 160. Over under is 9.5 at minus 114.
Yeah, today's probably a good hedge day because I got A&M knowing the whole thing too.
Right.
So probably be a plus 1.5 and money line on the other two teams today, just to see. I might not throw money line on Kentucky. I don't know. I'll have to check and see if Kentucky played Texas A&M this year. I'm sure they probably did. See how they fared. I don't know. Kentucky's got that weird vibe to them that like they might make a run, and I don't really like that.
I could see it happening.
I didn't like Kentucky coming into this thing, but I don't know. I didn't hate them as much as North Carolina, that's for sure. But I didn't like them to win it. Um, my thing is Florida's backs against the wall right now, and I think that's exactly where they're
That's
comfortable being.
where they want to be.
Yeah, they are comfortable being there. I have no issue with taking them today, but I'm not going to because I already have them to win the College World Series. I would take them if I did not have that bet, but because I do, I'm gonna take plus 1.5, and since it's an elimination game, I'm gonna take money line with NC State, and we'll ride it out.
Kentucky has not played A&M this year.
They have not played.
Not once.
Interesting.
Very-
All right. Well, that one's not a loser's game, not an elimination game. So we'll have to see. I'll have to dive in and see
Could be some
see what
fun
we
games today.
see what we want to do. I don't know if Kentucky's going to keep it within two. I think A&M's one of those teams that's kind of on a mission too. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um,
Gonna be fun.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. You got anything? You got any closing remarks? Any
Um,
wonky shit you want to throw at me?
Shout out to the man Grant Holmes, native Conway, South Carolina, making his MLB debut last night for the Braves after 10 years in the minors too. That's a
I
lot.
did.
That's a lot to go through.
I did see that. Um,
That is a lot to go through. 10 years is a
10 years
long
and I
time in
think
the minor
two
leagues.
surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had UCL surgery twice or some sort of. He had UCL once, and then I don't know. He had another surgery.
Right. Yeah.
3 scoreless innings,
3 scoreless
from what
innings,
I
and
saw.
then game gets tied back up, and they put Raziel Iglesias in, and sure enough, he blows it. But it's fine. Have your moment, Grant.
Yeah, no,
On Father's Day.
he's he was a stud back in high school, so I'm not surprised that he made it there.
He
Thought he'd
went.
make it there a lot quicker, but
Yeah.
you know, injuries happen. So I'm happy for him.
He worked
I'm
for
glad
it.
he
And he
finally
got
got
it.
there.
Yep.
And honestly, he got drafted by the Dodgers, and somehow he worked his way all the way back to the Braves. So
Yep.
it was like clear cut across the country for his family, and now it's like, oh, it's only like a 6 hour drive. We're
There you go.
good. Like not bad. So
I will say the Braves have a lot of players that are from like around the area.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
But
is not off brand for them, to be
mm-mm.
honest. But
Hometown,
yeah, well,
homegrown,
hometown
little,
guys.
little southern vibe.
Grant Holmes. I thought I was reading that wrong yesterday when I saw it. I was like, huh? Like Grant Holmes. I was like, this can't be the same. Can't be the same guy. I was like, and then sure enough, I saw his face, and I'm like, oh, it is the same guy.
It is the
There he
same guy.
is. Yep.
So
Drafted out of high school, top 20 pick in the draft. What an
it all works
insane
out.
time.
It all works out in the end.
I remember facing that kid. I was scared shitless. He threw so freaking hard. I was like a freshman. I was as skinny as you are.
Yeah.
facing like 97 in 30 something degree weather. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. If this thing hits me, I'm literally going to die. It was insane. Um,
That's it though.
that's all I got, man. We'll wrap it up. We'll get back to it on Wednesday. It looks like we're gonna have College World Series games pretty much every
Every day
day
until it's over.
until, because I think right now tomorrow starts like I think it starts at like the weird schedule where it's like Florida State plays North Carolina, and if whoever wins has to then play Tennessee later that night,
Yeah.
and then they have to beat them, and then they could play again tomorrow, the day after. They start that tomorrow,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna get a little crazy, but I think the final is supposed to be like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think
I
next
think
week.
that's the plan.
I think that's what they're trying to do. So should be
We're here
eventful. A lot
for
of
it.
baseball, a lot of baseball coming up. Honestly, the two things that we're leaning pretty heavy on may be well, one's definitely ending in the College World Series, but the NBA Finals might be ending too.
Yeah.
And then it's college football season almost. We're only like 11 Saturdays away.
Here we
11,
go.
11 Saturdays away from college football and 12 Saturdays away. Well, 12 Sundays away from the NFL.
That's fun.
I'm so pumped.
I'm
I've
ready.
I've already written down week 1 spreads
Oh
for,
God.
yeah, it's not great. It's not healthy. Um we gotta figure it out. But that's all I got, man. Until next time. We'll see you Wednesday.
Make it an outstanding day.